In 1968, Seattle's banks had a simple rule. If you were black, you couldn't borrow. Not because you couldn't repay, because of your skin color. It was called redlining, a systematic federal policy that locked African Americans out of wealth building forever. One group of community leaders decided to break that rule. They built their own bank, and it changed everything. Liberty Bank opened on May 31, 1968, at 24th Avenue and East Union Street in Seattle's Central District. According to historical records, it was Washington State's first primarily black-owned bank, and one of only a handful west of the Mississippi River at that time. The mission was radical in its simplicity: lend to people the other banks refused. Lend to black homeowners. Lend to black business owners. Lend to anyone white-owned banks had written off. 8 prominent black leaders, according to documented records including Reverend Samuel Kinney, Dr. James Jackson, James and Mardine Purnell, and Holbrook Garrett, worked alongside George Tokuda and Jack Richlen, Japanese and Jewish business owners in the community. They pooled their resources. They fought for a state charter. They dreamed of something radical, a bank that saw black people as creditworthy, as deserving, as human. Governor Dan Evans led the ribbon-cutting ceremony himself. But what makes Liberty Bank truly extraordinary is who owned it. According to verified historical accounts, the bank had 518 stockholders. 80% were black people of modest means. Not wealthy investors, not corporate moguls. Regular people, working people, people who had been excluded from every other financial institution. Now they owned the bank that would serve them. The bank had one predecessor, the Sentinel Credit Union, also black-owned. But it couldn't give mortgages. It couldn't give business loans. It could only offer limited credit services. Liberty Bank was different. It could do what had been forbidden: put capital into black hands, fulfill what the Prince Hall Grand Lodge, a Masonic order for black men, had dreamed of for years. And it worked. For 20 years, Liberty Bank was a lifeline. According to community records, it provided mortgages to black homeowners, business loans to entrepreneurs, financial services to people who had been systematically excluded. It wasn't just a bank. It was an act of resistance. A financial revolution hidden in downtown Seattle on a corner of 24th and Union. But 1968 was also the year of assassination. MLK was murdered days before Liberty Bank opened. The civil rights movement was bleeding, and the forces that had locked black people out of banking in the first place, systemic racism, indifference, predatory lending, they didn't disappear just because one community bank opened its doors. By the 1980s, according to state records, Liberty Bank faced financial difficulties, uneven profits, rising deficits. In 1988, after 20 years of serving its community, the state closed it. The building became Emerald City Bank. Then KeyBank bought it. And for decades, it sat, a shadow of what it once was. But the story didn't end there. In 2015, when KeyBank sold the property, the community rose up. African Town Central District, Bird Bar Place, and the Black Community Impact Alliance refused to let Liberty Bank's legacy disappear into gentrification. They negotiated a memorandum of agreement. They ensured that a black community organization, Bird Bar Place, would have the right to acquire the building after 15 years, ensuring it stays in black hands. The new Liberty Bank building opened in 2019, providing affordable housing to 115 families. 87% of the residents are black. The building's exterior features the original yellow bricks. Inside, the bank's original vault door is now an art installation, a symbol of the wealth that was finally accessible. The founders' faces line the walls. On the ground floor, 3 black-owned businesses operate: a cafe, a cooking business, and a barber shop that's been in the neighborhood for decades. This is what community power looks like. Not just a business. A monument to refusal. A testament to black people saying, if they won't let us in, we'll build our own. If they won't lend to us, we'll lend to ourselves. If they try to erase us, we'll write ourselves back into the future. Today, the Liberty Bank building stands as proof that black excellence doesn't just survive systemic racism, it transcends it. It builds, it houses, it creates, it persists, and it demands to be remembered. Comment below. What would happen if every community had a Liberty Bank today? Share this story with someone who needs to know that black financial power is possible. Subscribe to Ikemafuna History TV because we're telling the stories of black resilience and economic justice that textbooks never teach. What untold story of black innovation do you want us to investigate next? Drop it in the comments. Let's uncover the architects of our own freedom.